I'm chopping up some fresh thyme. 2 different kinds from Herb Garden. But what we're doing is we're creating this chicken soup with ginger, turmeric, and Israeli pearl couscous. And one thing I'm going to do in a moment that I've actually never done before is grate some fresh ginger. I usually use the spice, like the pre-made stuff in the store. Nothing wrong with that. Turns out really good either way. But I was like, you know, I always wanted to try the fresh grated ginger at some point, and figured my first chicken soup, my first turmeric chicken ginger soup of the season would be a great time to do it. So just did my thyme. Now rosemary, my absolute favorite herb. Like, one thing about rosemary, it smells so good, is I can never buy too many of them. Pretty much stays evergreen. So especially during the winter, it's a really nice feature to be able to walk outside of your door, at least if you're in a zone somewhere. I live in zone 7, agricultural zone 7B to be exact. And rosemary pretty much stays evergreen, so it's a nice perennial herb to add to your other more traditional perennial plants. The texture is really nice, but the smell is just so clean and like invigorating. It's said to be like an herb for cleansing and also memory. So apparently, if you have rosemary, say you're like studying something, you need to be able to recall it. Sniffing some rosemary while you're learning something new, and then having that rosemary when you need to recall it, or any rosemary, just rosemary scented while you're learning, and then rosemary scent while you're needing to recall something worth trying out. Why not try? But I like it. I really started experimenting with herbs in a more like dessert type recipes this year. You know, everyone is pretty familiar with using rosemary in like chicken, and beef, or more savory type dishes, but really enjoyed incorporating it into sweets this year. And I even created some really good sugar cookies this year. Orange rosemary sugar cookies. So good. And I started sprinkling rosemary on my toast, like with strawberry cream cheese, or on top of my blueberry toast. Highly recommend. But needless to say, it goes quite well in a chicken soup. So we've got the rosemary all chopped up now. Here we go with this ginger. Let's see what happens. So chop up. That's nice. Full disclosure, I looked up earlier today what to do, so I saw somebody just kind of peeling back with a knife, small knife like this. This smells really good. This is nice. The fibers are really like really neat. I don't know what it reminds me of. There's something therapeutic just about cutting into it. I always want to be careful when you're like using a knife like this. Take your time. Because if you're going to be in a hurry, you might as well just skip this part and go with the store-bought version of grated ginger. Again, no shame in that. It's pretty much what I've always used, so. And now, we've got this outside, the skin off, I guess you'd call it. We can use this little basic grater. I'm pretty sure this is from the Dollar Tree once upon a time. And just grate the ginger. You want to make sure you have a chunk large enough to actually like hold and be able to do this comfortably. Oh, the smell is just really nice though, I gotta say. I don't know, I think there's something about spooky season, as you would call it, moving into the fall. Something about the ritual of having your own fresh herbs, like the preparation part, the lead up to throwing everything in your big cauldron. It's very witchy. I don't know. It's also a way to kind of, I think, help combat seasonal depression, aside from the good things for your brain that just smelling the herbs seems to do for me, at least. It's like, I don't know, if you're in the kitchen preparing your herbs, one thing you're not doing is being sucked into the endless scroll, or, you know, looking on at what other people are doing. You know, feeling bad about yourself for any number of reasons that we tend to when we spend too much time comparing our lives to others. Because one thing we all should know by now is that social media is a slippery slope. I mean, you know, here I am recording this for YouTube, but this is a little bit different. At least I'm consciously aiming to make this different in that, I don't know, there's only but so much value in showing the representative version of yourself for everyone to see. I mean, if you want perfection and the prettiest and most perfect version of what I'm doing, then I think that route's already been carved out by several people at this point. Just trying to actually show the regular degulars out there how to incorporate these little pieces of self-care into their lives in a way that hopefully makes it accessible, but also, more than anything, inspires you to actually go and try it yourself instead of getting you sucked into like a sort of spectator's role, permanent spectator's role of just looking on and thinking, well, I could never do that, or you know, look at how perfect that looks when she does it, or I don't know. There are people that do that and do it really well, but I'm here to actually show people that are struggling. Everyone's got their struggle, right? People that are struggling have to eat, and arguably it's more important, not more important, but even more important than normal to put good into your body when you are struggling, like with life, mental health, whatever, because at least what inspires me to go the extra mile during those times is there's so many things that you can't control about what's going on the outside of your life, things that make you feel bad. So for me, it came from a place at the beginning of this year of knowing that I cannot afford to feel less than optimal, like being genuinely worried about how I would get through the year. So I just thought, this is not the time to be reactive with what you eat, you know, because that usually tends to be a terrible spiral. I feel bad, I put bad into my body, and then I feel even worse, and, you know, kind of this perpetual feedback loop of feeling bad because you ate bad stuff, and then eating bad stuff because you feel bad, and then so on and so forth. So getting this part right is, it's like this one little piece that you can control. And honestly, it has served me quite well. And that's why I decided, honestly, to make this channel. It's part of what helped shape what the channel would be. Because I just knew that I'm not the only one out there who has experienced struggle this year. I know a lot of people out there are currently experiencing struggle, and I really hope that this finds them.